Greetings. This is a timeless and specific message, so please do read the description box thoroughly, okay, so you can understand the type of message that this is and if it resonates with you. This is specific, so you will know if this is for you because you already know. You already be knowing, okay? So, this is a message of masculine and feminine. The masculine aspect of the self, the feminine aspect of the self, how that aligns and how that manifests into partnership, right? So the masculine aspect has been learning life lessons, right? And learning that everything ahead of that is bigger and better, and that's just what it is. And so you're coming from, a powerful place within yourself. You've elevated in your own fire to where you know that, you are unwilling to participate in the pressurizing gravitational pull that depletes many people. This is definitely supernova energy, cosmic origins. And so that can be a very emotional ride, a lot of transformation, at times explosive, at times beautiful. At the end of the day, through that is brought stability and or is bringing stability, and you'll be able to be comfortable where you are as it pertains to time, money, resources, spiritual abundance, and the physical. And as it may pertain to you in business, possibly maybe you're learning, what's good for you, what isn't good for you, what's stress reducing, who's stress reducing, what feels good about that person. How is it helping you to express that fire in you in a way that still carries that same passion, yet it's still without the drama, musical, rhythmic, harmonious. So for the feminine, this is a very different type of energy. Everything with the feminine is in relation to connections and elevation from a energetic perspective versus the masculine that's dealing more in the material world, right? And again, this is aspects of the self first. And so I'm just thinking. So feminine is coming from celebration, not just for the feminine is coming from celebration because of the state of her vessel. She's focused on wellness, her health, the ingredients that she eats, not only that she puts in her mouth, but also, the food that she ingests through her nervous system. And, that alone is something to celebrate about. Her body is the home, it is the temple, through generations of the womb being under attack, whether it was conscious or unconscious or participation because of, lack or limitations or, just the environments of, the ancestors. This is showing a celebration of reclaiming that womb energy, reclaiming, and healing money wounds and honoring the body and honoring the womb. And so from that, the soul said yes to sacred contracts that are birthed from her relationship to that. And so on that journey, it has been very challenging for her as well. It does show, though, that even though she fell to her knees at times, there was always somebody holding her hand, whether she was in the midst of bawling her eyes out and couldn't see that support, that masculine support that is within her as well. It was always there. And sometimes it didn't really know, that masculine support didn't really know where it was fully going. The bond is strong though. And no matter what, they're together in it, you know? And so from that, we just say there are good things in alignment, in connections with people that are in alignment with truth and cosmic harmony, you know. And resources, as well as time, money, and energy. And so the glue that has been in between, because at times this experience may have felt very delusional, you know, the ups and downs, the triggers, you know, the relationships that brought those things up for healing. It's all been a part of the ascension, and it's been connected to a ancient remembrance of heart frequency and telepathy that stands the test of time. And so in that knowing, there's always been this kind of pivot switch that, because of that pure essence that you have and that trust in divinity and learning over time, you know, the power that you experience and learning lessons of attraction, right? Through that, all of the things that have come into your life as healing support for you to recognize who you are as an individual. I want to share a brief excerpt from my book, Fruit of the Womb, that came up to support this message. Let me see what page I want to read. Okay. So this is about divine counterparts, and it says, quote, "Divine counterparts often meet each other in ways that call the inner child forward, whether through deep longing, emotional triggers, or inexplicable recognition. These meetings stir the early wiring around love, safety, and value. Sometimes the very love they offer each other brings up grief or fear because it challenges what was once accepted or normal. Forgiveness plays a powerful role here. It opens the space for release as a conscious clearing that allows the energy to shift. Many of the childhood wounds activated in union are connected to past life interactions, soul agreements, or inherited energetic patterns. Even if that concept feels far away, it can be helpful to see these loops as recycled energies from the fractal line and ancestral frequencies reappearing for transmutation. This is why divine counterparts can feel so familiar, magnetic, or even overwhelming. The strong pull carries the purpose of healing. The connection is designed to surface patterns so that they can be cleared, restored, and elevated. Sometimes the roles shift across timelines. The energy one carries now may have been expressed through a mother, a lover, or even a grandparent in another era. The mirror invites each person into inner parenting, reparenting. The child within comes forward asking to be seen, held, and loved in the daily practice of compassion. The adult self now becomes the nurturer, remembering that love already lives within. Many divine counterparts once fantasized about a deep love without knowing where the image came from. Movies, music, and visions may have carried a familiar tone, one that called to the soul and left an echo in the heart. That dream was a cellular memory, a vibrational pull toward remembrance. And the more each person honors that memory by choosing themselves with grace, the more that love flows into the present." End quote. So that is from my book, Fruit of the Womb. And so this has been what has been in between that masculine and feminine energy, because this first, the counterpart between the masculine and the feminine energy within the self. Right? And so that masculine energy now knows the energy that it holds and the value that they bring to the table as a merchant, as a business person, right, in the marketplace for fair exchanges, contracts, agreements, relationships. And your aura now speaks for you. So this is the attraction and attracting energy that is coming from this healed place. And the feminine is understanding the importance of joy, and as it pertains to the contracts that she enters, prioritizing what feels good. This is heart consciousness and ancient memory of past timelines. And so these past timelines that carry energies of telepathy from this healing are clearer. And new things are being born from this. Opportunities, children, businesses. And recognizing that, this bond within the self is forever strong. And that is also attracting on the physical, the matching energy. That strong bond, just as strong, that has had the same type of triggering lessons, now elevating to a higher place where it's really challenging for anything to interfere, because the inner self has been sanctified, and so the outer connection is sanctified as well. And so from this coming together in the self, there's security in the home, in the body, in connections. There's quality time, right? So having more time for self, having more time, putting down the phone, spending time with the people that you love, that nourish you, whether it be your partner or, your work, or, your studies, or your creative projects, or whatever you have going on. And this is ultimately a part of this life partner, because you are your first life partner, and therefore you are able to get through anything with yourself, and therefore that person that you are attracting is the mirror to who you are. And so with that partner that matches you as a mirror of the connection of all there is wholeheartedly a strong, strengthened bond. So the delusional energy was delusional because it was memory, and you may be in a place where you are now starting to recognize, being that you are in this space with me right now, that you are in a place of elevation, of ascension. And so it is.